Hiya, we're in Llandudno, North Wales, and we're about to go on the road train.
Where would you like to sit?
Right, so we're on the road train and we're about to go soon.
Just on the blue screen, please. Perfect. There you go.
Lovely, thank you.
Quick safety announcements. No standing. Keep arms and heads in the carriage. No smoking. No vaping. No scratching, no punching and no spitting. And more importantly, no pole dancing. Construction appears in 1876 and was opened to the public in 1877. It's the longest pier in Wales at 700 metres in length and it's the 5th longest in the UK. Now, the voted pier of the year is basically called Happy Valley, and though you will not find Sarah Lancashire up there. However, what you will find are the cable cars which are longest in Europe. Now, this is a tour garden. It boasts the longest of the further market union, known as Liverpool Bay. Also on our right hand side, our Magazine Wind Farm. Believe it or not, there's over 160 turbines out there. Don't forget to wave back. Told you. So if you look up ahead on your right hand side, just up ahead onto our Great Orme, it actually looks like a crocodile. You see a bit better as we go around this bend here. So take a look at your right window. Look up ahead, and the head looks like a crocodile. There's over 600 foot tall and approximately 200 feet taller than the littoral. The Great Orme is home to the infamous Kashmiri goats, which you may or may not be able to spot on this trip. During the pandemic, they came into Llandudno and they partied all night in the town centre. Don't believe me? Check it on YouTube. The Great Orme was created approximately 350 million years ago. It's 2 miles long, you're on my right, and because it's under 1,000 feet, it's not a mountain, just a very big hill. The Orme is formed from limestone, dolomite, copper and iron ore. For over 4,000 years, the Great Orme has been mined for its copper ore, and was one of the most productive mines in the UK. In fact, they found this copper ore as far places as Turkey, believe it or not. You can visit the Great Orme mine on top of the Great Orme, and it'll take you to some of the tunnels. Anyway, back on. If you look over to the right, you can see the littoral, which you can describe as the elephant drinking water. Now, behind our elephant, you can see Graveside, and if you keep looking that way, look at the Graveside in the last hotel over there. You see a brown building on Promenade, just in between the both of them. That is the RNLI. They've also got an ice cream parlour down that direction as well. The site is free, all you ask for is donations. There's about 20 animals in there, and a kookaburra. If you want more information, then come see me a bit later on the either Recipe Paintball Cafe or at the end of the tour. On the left hand side, train over on the right hand side, and train I'll point out in a minute. So everyone on the left hand side, train, look up ahead on your left hand side, you'll see a rock face with some netting on it. Look above that and to the left you'll see a church. That's rock face with netting, look above and to the left you'll see a church. For those that's on the right hand side of the train, look up ahead you'll see a rock face with some netting on it. Look above that and to the left you'll see a church. That's rock face with netting, above that and to the left you'll see the church. That is St Thomas Church. Whilst in St Patrick Island Rhythm of the Snakes, Island said back Mr Tubno. You rode across the rough Irish Sea in a wooden boat by a team of 8 to 12 men. and land in the cove below to spread the word of God. Those churches were built in the 12th century and they used local stone to build it. And it's still regularly used for weddings, funerals and sermons. Some people buried up there, Sir William Ness, military pioneer and founder of the AA. James Cecil Park, an Olympic tennis player. John Jones, first keeper of the Great Orme Lighthouse. And Jess Yates, TV entertainment presented stars on Sunday in the 50s. A junction. Now, you actually take the left-hand junction up the zigzag path, will take to the Summit Complex Visitor Centre. There's also take you up to the Great Orme Mine on top of the Great Orme. Also that direction you go to the St Tudmo's Church. That's this junction on your left-hand side, this zigzag path. Now, this zigzag path is also known as Dead Man's Curve to the local skateboarders. To everybody else, it's known as a BGH. A bloody great hill is a 1 in 4 climb. Out there on your right hand side, believe it or not, there's over 130 shipwrecks out there. Take a look up ahead and on your right hand side, you can see my house. Yeah, I wish. Just imagine waking up every morning to this sea view. It's even more beautiful when the sun's out, I tell you that. It's absolutely gorgeous. Not so long when the fog comes in. Anyway, I get sidetracked here. That is actually the lighthouse, which was built in 1862 by the Merseybeck and Harbour Board. They use a local dressed limestone and Canadian pitch pine to build it. Unlike normal lighthouse, it doesn't have a stack. That's because it doesn't need one. Instead, it has a 180-degree bay window facing the sea and is situated 325 feet above sea level. was commissioned in 1985. When the optic was removed, this can now be seen in the Summit Complex Business Centre on top of the Great Mall. Today, the lighthouse is a high-end B&B. Now, you used to be able to book it online, but they've taken that option off. You've now got to phone them directly. However, I did find out how much it costs. It costs £115 to £125 per person per night. And I do believe there's only 3 bedrooms there. Every time I've driven past this, it's full. Keep on your left. You should be able to just about see the rest of the Thankful Cafe. We'll stop for about approximately 20 minutes. Please remember you're seated. The carriages do have names on top of them to remind you. Bags will be left on the carriages as a member of the team will remain. Should anyone require assistance to alight, please be patient and a guard or driver will be along to help you. Please you are welcome to fall back down with a drink, but please ensure it has a top on it, as the route down can be a little bumpy. So can everybody be back on the train for approximately 10 past 11, that's 10 past 11. Now let me see. Sorry, full. Yeah, told you, full again.
We've just got off the road train for 20 minutes. Yeah, we'll go in the cafe now. Yeah, we're going to go in the cafe now and I'll keep this paused because we've only got 20 minutes here and then it's back again. So yeah, Sarah and John recommended us use the road train and that's what we've done. It's only 12 quid each. So this is the cafe and look, the Iron Man statue's photo, and this is in North Wales. It's gorgeous scenery, isn't it? Right, we've got to go back on the road train in a minute. So just thought I'd show you around. Sheep. Forgot it's a car park. Good job, Cliff, swimming. The views are brilliant.
On your left hand side. Before that car park looks like some tank tracks go up a hill. They're not exactly tank tracks, but they go up a hill to what used to be a prefab concrete building are used for testing and developing the radar during World War II. And on the opposite side of the road you'll see a flat bit of concrete, and that used to be a tank, and that used to be used for target practice. So basically on the left-hand side, on your left-hand side of that hill is where the radar site was, and on your right-hand side is where the tank was. But keep looking to your left because you've got goats over there. All your goats on your left-hand side. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count 6. Anybody count more than 6?
7, 8. Oh yeah, we're not there.
Oh, 7, 8. Someone's got to 8 at the moment.
Oh, no, that's all right. Up ahead on your right hand side you can see Puffin Island. Puffin Island is inhabited by, guess what? Sheep. No, you're right, it's puffins. Oh, looks like we might have something in the middle of the road. Anyway, there's also remains of a 12th century church on the island. The island was run by rats, but they were eradicated in 1998. But if you fancy a closer look, boat trips are either made from either Conwy or Bow Maris. Also, the Prince and Princess of Wales lived there when William served in the Royal Air Force. Over on your right hand side is Snowdonia, which contains all 15 mountains in Wales over 3,000 feet high, including the country's highest, which is Snowdon. Only Ben Nevis is higher, over 4,000 feet. But that doesn't have a railway that takes you to the top, nor does it have a cafe at the summit when you arrive there. I think that's one to Wales actually. Right, if you go to Llanberis, you can pick the train. You catch the diesel or the steam train. The diesel is £45 per person. The steam train is £65 per person. It's 1 hour trip to the top. You get half-hour trip stay off at the top, and it's another 1 hour trip all the way down. That's 2.5 hours for £45. Now, if you think you're too old to do it, my dad was down here a month ago. He managed to make it to the top in Snowdon, and he's 82. Up ahead of us you can see the gangway and Conwy, and the head of the river Conwy leads to Conwy Bay. If you follow the river inland you can see the elegant suspension bridge built by Thomas and Telford. That's that grey thing in the estuary, Conwy estuary. The bridge was however designed by a Robert Stephenson, the son of George Stephenson, who designed and built the famous rocket steam train. If you take a look to the right of the bridge, you can just make out Conwy Castle. The castle was built by Edward I between 1283 and 1287 for the sum of £50,000. It took 4 years to build the castle and a further 3 years for the castle walls to be built. Now you walk around the castle walls through. If you're built inside the castle walls, you're actually known as a jackdaw. house down here, you've got to pay with cash because you can't get a mortgage. That's due to sea erosion. Now she spend approximately £1 to £3 million every year on sea defences down there, believe it or not. House down there with the turrets on the right hand side. That used to be the barracks, the army barracks, officers' barracks for the old gunnery school during World War II. It's now owned by the Jewish people. There's for pregnant mothers to come down here to give birth, and then they have another 2 weeks down here to recuperate. In the bank. Perhaps you want to buy a house down. So if you start looking on the left, you'll see actually come up to a house out for sale, out on your left hand side. Now that one's got a guide price of £1.2 million. If you keep looking on the left, you see the one with the red front and the red roof on your left hand side, and that one actually sold for £900,000. If you want to be nosy and see what it looks like on the inside, go on Coastal Marina website. I do believe that the pictures are still on it. Up ahead of us is called West Shore. It's much quieter than North Shore. That's also where we hide our sandy beach.
It's the West Shore where we discovered, isn't it? That's true.
When the tide's in, they actually do kite surfing down here. Not a toll gate anymore, it's actually a residential home, but it does come on Airbnb now and again. That's the one coming from your left hand side. Just past the toll gate you'll see a brick wall, just past that, on the other side of that brick wall. There used to be a house called Pen Morpher. It's been knocked down because they're going to build flats down there, however that never happened. Penmouth used to be the home of Henry Liddell. He had 5 daughters. His second one being called Alice Liddell. They had a regular visitor called Charles Dodson, who wrote books under a more famous pen name of Lewis Carroll. As you perhaps know, he wrote Alice in Wonderland.
The town has a 5-mile walking trail, a Simon Hedger carving dedicated to the dedicated character in the book, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. However, what you probably don't know, can you remember the PG Tips adverts with the chimpanzees in the 70s? That was filmed here as well. Coming up on our right hand side, you can see our boating lake, which the locals known as the Seagull Training Ground. It's where young girls are taught to swoop down on your fish and chips, your ice cream, small dogs, small children, slow walking people and the elderly. Up on our left-hand side, you'll see up on the left-hand side, you'll see the tram stop turning circle. Just left of that, you'll see the spine statue of the white rabbit. However, more importantly, there's on the left-hand side, look up ahead and you see that dark grey car there. We'll be turning on left here, so take a look to the right as we go around. Because that's where the Cheshire Cat is. So start looking right. Start looking right. Behind this car here, you'll see the Cheshire Cat. Now the Cheshire Cat has got green eyes. Why has he got green eyes? Because he spent the night in the lily pub next door. Electric tram lines. The trams run from here to Colwyn Bay from 1908 and closed in 1956. Now I mentioned about the Simon Hedger carvings and the 5-mile walking trail of Alice in Wonderland. Now you can download the app if you can get the app to work. I tried it, get the app to work. However, you can go into the Victoria Shopping Centre in town. That's where the tourist information office is. You can get a map from there. On your left hand side, up in those hills, you'll find Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Outside the old post house. Along the promenade outside the Queen's Hotel is the Mad Hatter. In the middle of town, you'll find the White Rabbit. That's basically where the chocolate experience is as well. And if you're looking for Alice, she's at the train station. You'll see some white buildings. That's the original trend of the town. What's up there is the... Oh, if you look up left, you see the cable cars going as well. Getting sidetracked here again. What's up there on the left hand side is the first pub in Llandudno. That's the King's Head. Coming up on your right hand side, look up ahead, you'll see a church. Just before the church on your right hand side, you'll see a yellow building. That yellow building is the Llandudno Museum and Gallery. Now if you walk all the way around the museum to the back end of the museum, we'll come to the Llandudno War Museum. That's on your right hand side there. Also coming up on your right hand side, you should just be able to see the Queen of Hearts, and she's pointed to the west shore. Me personally, I think she looks more like Mick Jagger, but looks more like Mick Jagger in drag. If you fancy a Turkish, go to Istanbul on your left hand side. On your right hand side, you should see the Palladium. It used to be an opera house, theatre, circus, big hall, and a cinema. It's now the local Wetherspoon. ahead on the promenade, see that big pointy thing? That's our Royal Memorial. The Royal Memorial was erected after the First World War. It's 50 foot high and topped with a golden grenade. In front of our Royal Memorial is the pocket watch from the White Rabbit. That's that green thing over there. It's on the correct time, something's gone wrong. Should be half past.
Over there.
Looks like we're about 5. Looks like we're around 5 minutes late. Anyway, we're back at North Shore. We hope you enjoyed your trip with us today. On behalf of the team, we'd like to wish you a pleasant rest of the day. Please remain seated until the vehicle comes to a complete stop and ensure that you take all your belongings